Hey, sorry to everybody who's listening on the stream. We are late today, had a little bit of technical difficulties, but we will talk much more quickly than normal to make it up to you. Um, so this is The Dying of the Light, Season 3 of the Starfall Collective. The Starfall Collective is a collaborative storytelling group using the Dungeons & Dragons game system as a vehicle for creating rich and compelling stories in a fictional world that we have been developing together for a while. You can find out more about the collective as well as the stories we're telling at thestarfallcollective.com. We are back with episode 14. Let's find out who's in this episode. I am Sir Robert Burbridge, a father and, let's say, entrepreneur, and I am the host of this season's story. With me tonight are a few friends playing the characters in this drama. And just to be explicit, I have created the story that we're making, and the characters do not know the story, and I do not know the actions of the characters. So that's kind of one of the things that makes this a really interesting sort of macabre dance. Let's start at the top. Matt, why don't you go next?
Hey, my name is Matthew Talamini. I'm a writer and web developer based in Providence, Rhode Island. You can find my stuff at MatthewTalamini.com. That's Matthew, TALAMINI.com. I play the shirtless wizard Diamondback.
And Jared?
My name's Jared. I'm playing Yoshka, who is kind of a gypsy bard who's trying to get back up north to find his people.
And Dwight?
Hi, I'm Dwight. I play Belvari, who is nondescript.
Okay, and on your screen, Dwight is the one who is wearing the skin of a dog.
The sloth.
Josh?
Hey there, my name's Matthew McConaughey. Hey, me and Mel Gibson had our shirts off a little while ago. I think a dingo dog came and run and got him. If you see a dingo dog with me and Mel Gibson's shirts around here, you just give me a holler, all right? All right.
And oh, no, wait.
And yeah, tonight I'll be playing Gold.
All right.
That was true.
Aaron Joy?
Hi, I'm Aaron Joy. I play Davina, human, druid, level 2, would-be defensive architect.
All right. And as I said, I am Sir Robert Burbridge. I am the game master, and I play everyone and everything else. So,
Yes, Robert, your mic is just a touch hot. I'm getting a little bit of hotness from it.
1, 2, 3, 1,
Wait
2,
a
3.
second. I
How's
think
that?
I'm not level 2. I think I'm level 1. One day.
Dwight, is that any better?
Yeah.
Great. Okay. Well, let's get started. Previously on The Dying of the Light, we have seen our party in a hollow tree. They've been hunkering down there for about a day. It is their second night in the tree, and things have been going swimmingly, except when they haven't.
I don't know how to swim.
We'll get there. And yesterday they spent much of the day recuperating and, making themselves more stable. Unfortunately, at the end of the day, they had another encounter that was two giant elk and some giant rats came. The elk and the rats, the elk actually, did significant damage to the tree, which is now creakier and not as sturdy, and has some, broken parts of it. However, it is still a good shelter. It is still a viable shelter for the night, and the night has fallen, so they probably won't look for something else, I'm guessing. But it's still a decent shelter. It is just not quite as good a protection as it was. They are starting their second night. Right as we ended, Davina had some insight into the caribou attack. No, sorry, not caribou, the giant elk attack. And I think she's either deep in thought or maybe her video is frozen, or maybe both. But let's go ahead and begin with the night falling. It is now 6 p.m. They have entered the tree. It's dark. And I think maybe one of them is up on the little crow's nest they built up higher in the branches that is approximately as secure as the hollow part. Anybody want to start with what you're doing for the night?
Belvari does not need to get a full night's rest, so he would be willing to climb up into the crow's nest that he saw the shirtless one go into, and everybody else could sleep.
Yeah, why don't y'all work that out?
Oh, thanks. This has been. My head is swimming. This has been too much almost. Here, let me give you this. You can have half a night's rest. If you would check. And I hand to you 4 woods of the red flower avocado tree. In the middle of the night, you can use this to keep watch over us. It will make a great shield over us, and we can all sleep.
What does it do?
So I'll put it in this shared. Do you have the shared component pouch sheet?
Uh-huh.
Okay, let me just put it right here on 5. One of the spells is Tiny Hut.
Uh-huh.
I'm guessing you're going to cast it at half power because it's a level 3 spell.
Well, level 3, I would need 3 other Tiny Hut components, I think, to cast it.
Yeah.
Great.
You need 3 different components with Tiny Hut.
3 different components?
Different.
Yeah.
Ooh. Okay.
You can't use multiple of the same spell component.
Okay.
That's for all spells that are above 0 level.
Okay. I did not know that. Thanks.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well then I just thank him and lay down to go to sleep.
Okay.
Diamondback says, I also am uninjured. I will take the second watch.
Why don't you take the third watch?
Therefore, I will take the third watch.
And just a reminder to our listeners that Gulb and Davina were both brought near to death during the encounter with the giant elk. They've been revived and healed, but it was a traumatic day physically for them.
So Diamondback, you sleep by the door. I'll wake you up if something happens, and maybe we can handle it and let the other people get a long rest. Does that sound like a plan?
I'm in favor of this idea.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, so we go to sleep.
Okay.
Belvari says, don't sleep, there's snakes.
So Robert, can you just describe us the scene here? We've got these big bodies lying around, right? Can you give us
Sorry, go ahead.
The scene description?
Yeah, so
we've got the clear forest around and the cleared out area and the tree and the bodies and
so the tree is a very large, mature tree. It's not it's not a young tree. It's probably a good 8 to 10 feet diameter, right? So there's a goodly amount of space inside the hollow that you found. It's about 6 inches thick of wood on every direction, notwithstanding having been damaged a bit. But the main part that you're in, while maybe having a couple of cracks, is not significantly compromised. That said, you during the day yesterday you cleared. Sorry, real quickly, I'm picking up a noise. It sounds like a police radio or something. Does anybody hear that?
I do, yeah.
Yeah, I am.
No.
So that is most likely an echo from somebody who is not wearing headphones.
Might be me.
I'll put my headphones on and see if it changes.
Okay, well let's find out. I don't hear it at the moment, but we also weren't talking for a few moments. So
that was a really loud mouse click.
So you cleared a radius around the tree of about 60 feet of major stuff, and any kind of big brambles or branches or anything like that. I don't hear the radio sound anymore. And in addition, Gulb also went through and redirected the animal paths, deer paths, that kind of thing. And so that was in good shape. You've cleared everything out. However, 2 giant elk, to give our listeners an idea of what that is, a giant elk is large enough for the party to run between their legs unhindered. And if you live in a 2 or 3 story house, maybe up to 4, but probably 2 or 3 story house, the elk could stick its head in a window of the 2nd or 3rd floor. Those are very, very large creatures.
So big.
So these creatures came in, and some of the party immediately fled to the tree to hide. The elk began using their gargantuan antlers to attack the tree, and the party ended up doing these elk in. In the course of that, while Gulb and Davina were both severely wounded but did not die, the elk were killed, as well as 2 giant rats that were there. The giant rats are, corpses that are nearish the tree, but they're approximately the size of a large dog. These elk creatures, however, are amazingly large, and one of them, it reared rampant as it was suffering its demise at the vicious tongue of Yoshka, who ridiculed its child and caused it agony unto death.
Ridiculed its mate.
And it reared up in its pain, and its antlers got severely entangled in the branches of the tree, and it died collapsing and is now hanging by the antlers. Its hind legs and haunches laying on the ground. The rest of it, 60 feet, up to 60 feet in the air. Its antlers caught and hanging there like our own sort of feral deer Absalom. And
Huge.
And, the other elk, which had been earlier slain, is just laying on the ground there. These are huge, huge creatures that are there. The elk that was laying on the ground had been cut open by Diamondback's amazing acrobatic prowess, and it spilled a torrent of blood down the hill. About a third of the clearing of the tree has been covered in this blood.
I love that Gulb started that fight by blasting both of them, and it just whiffed over them. And by the end, he was pulling them onto their feet and getting crushed by them.
Gulp did a lot of damage there. It was a good job. He grappled one of them. So that's the scene. As you finished that up, it became dark. It was right towards the end, and so you did not have time to. First of all, you could not move the giant elk without butchering them finely. So they're just there, hanging there, or laying there for one of them. But the rats were relatively small, have been carried away. No problem. You disposed of them. So you are now in the tree hollow. Belvari is up in the crow's nest, which is a branch, an extra 20, 30 feet above. And the rest of you are about 8 feet off the ground, inside the hollow of the tree.
So
it's nighttime and raining lightly.
So what Diamondback is hoping to do in cooperation with Belvari is to try and sleep, if possible, in the actual entryway to the tree. And here's what I'm imagining. Tell me if this is possible, DM. I'm imagining that this gigantic elk is crumpled up against the tree, and one of its enormous antlers comes up right near the hole, so that Diamondback can just sort of, as he's sleeping, he can just sort of reach out and have a foot or a hand lightly touching the antler of the creature.
Yeah, I'm willing for that. So real quickly,
one of the first things Gulb is going to want to do has to do with just that.
Okay, well, let me say this real quickly, and then we'll hear from Gulb and Diamondback to negotiate. But I am very willing for one of the antlers to be, one of the prongs of the antlers to be near the entrance. I guess it's got some kind of velvet or whatever antlers have. And
Not necessarily.
Okay.
If there are two of them with antlers, then they're probably in the rut or something, and they're
They were
probably
different
clean.
species.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Whatever.
they are. Either way, there is a big prong, a tine of one of the antlers. We can make that leaning against the tree, pressing against the tree near the entrance. Remember that you had made a kind of a woven bramble door for the tree that was fairly strong with Davina's help. But it has, because it's kind of woven, there is a way you could stick your hand through it and touch it if you want to have the door in place. You could also not have the door in place, but
This is my idea, so that anything that messes with it overnight, I would possibly be awoken by the movement.
yeah, I'm game for that. Gulb, do you want to? You said you had some
Yeah.
plans. Tell me what those
So
are, and we'll figure
Gulb-
that out.
Gulb has proficiency with leatherworking, and he has the tools to make heavy armor. So I think Gulb would like to try to use this really significant amount of bone in the form of bone level dense stuff in the form of the antlers and make armor.
I will let you take. I will let
Okay.
you take that. Harvesting it will take time tomorrow. If you want to, carve. You don't have to carve it like with a fine tool, but if you want to hack it out, that's going to take some, or break it off. It's going to take a little time tomorrow. The actual making of that is not going to be like a quick process. It's okay with me. You'll just have to take the raw materials with you somewhere and make it. Or, I guess you could sit in the forest and do it for the days that it'll take. But it is okay with me.
Okay.
The usual rule for making armor is that it takes a certain number of days and it costs a certain amount of money.
Yeah, you'll have to go through that process. You have components that are worth money, and there are towns nearby, relatively nearby that you can find. You'll have to buy some things. Say it again, Matt.
You have to have a workshop with the equipment.
Yeah,
I've got the tool.
I'm happy for you to do all that, Josh. That's no problem at all. But for right now, what you'll need to do is grab the raw materials and then have the relatively safe space to do it in.
Okay.
And you'll have to buy a few things because there's some stuff you have to tan the leather. You have to do other kinds of things like that that are not
sure
1 hour processes. Okay, good. So yeah, it looks like Belvari is on watch. Are all of the rest of you going to sleep?
Gulb very much needs to sleep, both to get hit points and to actually level.
Okay.
I've got 1 hit point, so sleeping is the only thing I'm capable of.
I think Gulb goes up to Delina and says, "Have we done enough for the camp tonight? Can they handle?"
Even if we haven't done enough, I can only sleep. I may be dropping some kind of ball, but that's a ball that's going to have to pick up in the morning.
And he kind of shakes his head no, and he kind of pats her on the shoulder to get some sleep. He says, "I will make sure we're all a job taken."
Okay. While y'all work this last part out, I've just got to go quiet our dog.
I think Gulb goes over to Yoshka and says, "Will you make the plan of the watch?"
I thought Belvari was going to take the first watch, and then Diamondback.
I
Yes.
will take the third if I can sleep. It
Well-
would be good. And he kind of peels back some of his hide, and he's got open wounds.
You should just sleep.
Wake me for the third watch, please.
If you have open wounds, I have healing things that
Oh,
we can...
he's going to get his hit points back as he sleeps. He is healed up, so he's not like on death's door or anything. He's currently down 3 hit points. There's no way not to get that.
Okay.
So.
And I just want to give an opportunity, but you don't have to, Davina. I'm not requesting this even. Whatever your character would do, but you remember having an insight about the things going on right towards the end of the last episode, perhaps. If you want to convey any of that, feel free. Otherwise, feel free not to.
Oh shoot! I forgot what I figured out.
I remember it.
Only Davina
The longer
had
we stay in a
insight.
place, the things get... Oh, it was only me? Oh,
Yeah.
sorry. I thought... Okay, yeah.
They heard it. The players heard it, but only Davina had the actual insight. She rolled the highest. She's the only one who rolled high enough.
Okay. So as I'm drifting off to sleep, I relay in a muddy way, the longer we stay, the worse it gets.
Yes, let's go tomorrow. But
right.
tonight, let's sleep.
So it is the first watch.
Don't sleep. There's snakes.
Say it again.
Don't sleep. There's snakes.
Don't sleep, there's snakes, Belvari says before falling asleep.
Your
before doing
bedtime
his
wishes
watch.
are the worst.
Belvari doesn't go to sleep. Belvari stays awake.
So I think only Belvari is awake now, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Belvari, why don't you tell me what you want to do for these 4 hours? The 2 things you can do are you can stay vigilant against any kind of encroaching opponent, which will give you a better chance not to have an encounter. Or you can do your own stuff like do the components, which will give you the normal appropriate chance of having an encounter.
I'm vigilant.
Okay. So I'm going to roll for your encounter here. And what that vigilance does is it gives me disadvantage on my roll against the damage, against the difficulty.
Nice.
Okay. Wow. Okay. You met the number, so you just barely escaped an encounter on the first watch. Because you're being vigilant, what that can mean is, well, actually, I'll just tell you what that means. Give me a second. I'm going to do a... Okay. Belvari, you did hear things out in the night, though you did not... You were able to make reasonable noises and things to keep them away. You don't know what it was. Could have been anything from raccoons to some kind of monster. Who knows what. But nothing came and attacked you, at least. So
Nice.
that's good. Because you used your energies on that, which is, kind of you, you did not get to do anything else like... what you could have attuned to a magic item, or you could have identified some spell components or things like that. But you used it to keep vigilant watch and keep your party safe. Okay, it is now the second watch. Do you want to hand off to anybody, or are you going to keep?
No, I'll keep watch. Can I use my inspiration to give you disadvantage on your roll while I drop my vigilance and do some other stuff?
Yeah, I'm willing for that. What is your inspiration? Did you get inspiration?
Give
Because I
him
was-
inspiration for something.
Great.
Because I was sneaking around.
Oh,
and
yeah, that's right. I remember that.
Despite rolling very poorly, I kept
You kept sneaking.
pretending that I was sneaking.
Good. Yeah, I'll totally do that. Take your inspiration off. We'll do your encounter this time. I'll roll it with disadvantage again. And just to let you all know, each watch, the difficulty is getting easier and easier to get an encounter. Day and night. Each watch that you stay in the same place. Belvari, why don't you tell me what you want to do? During
So I
this
have
period.
these 4 different blue-tailed black bear components, and I would like to
Okay. Let
chew
me,
them up and spit them out.
let me find that creature. Okay, I've got it, and I'm going to update your sheet just a little bit just to make it formatted the way sort of canonically it's formatted. Go ahead and tell me which one do you want to do first?
I'll do the paw, I guess. I only have one of them, but
Okay.
no, actually, I'll start with one. I'll do the scat. I don't want to chew that up. I want to do everything
Yeah.
besides chewing it up.
So, and the way you can do that with scat and some other stuff is you can knead it in your hands.
Okay.
It's
Still
like-
gross, but
Yeah, you're kind of wringing it in your hands, right, to grok it, but without the chewing. And you said that was the scat.
yeah.
Okay,
And I just decremented it.
it has no magical attributes. Sorry.
Okay. No, that's fine. I rub my hand on the tree.
Are,
next to
in
me.
fact, any of these items magical? No, sir, none of them all. I've been deliberately leading you on, sir.
What's next?
I'll do the fur. I wipe my hands on the fur.
Sure. Let's see. The fur also has no magical properties.
Man. I'll do the teeth.
The teeth do have magical properties. I want you to roll me a d20, and
Okay.
you'll only with a critical failure you'll fail, but with anything else you'll do fine.
Okay. D20. I got a natural 20.
Wow. Okay.
Nice.
You know what I'll do just for giggles? I'm also going to let you succeed on on another one. It'll take half the time, and you can also do another one during the same hour.
Oh, nice.
For kind of
Could you
quote-unquote
actually
crap.
give magical properties to those previous ones?
Nice. Good thought.
Unfortunately, the program that I wrote, it's actually deterministic for every creature, so I can't
Oh,
modify.
man.
It has a
And
level.
they say the DM is God in the world.
I'm an orderly god. It has a level 0 prestidigitation
Okay.
and a level 1 fairy fire, which is a nice spell.
Faerie.
Yeah, fire.
Okay.
F-I-R-E. Good. And then also you can get another one for free the same hour.
What is happening?
Welcome to Providence.
Providence is crazy. Yeah, I guess I'll do that, Paul, even though it'll use up the.
Okay. It also has nothing.
Okay.
So you've done 3 now. The 4th one was a freebie. So
Gotcha.
you got 1 more hour that you could do it in. You have 1 more hour to do something. You could do a different creature or whatever.
Yeah, I'll do that green-footed cougar.
Okay. Hey, Dwight, I'm going to recommend that you put that paw and component back in your inventory with a 0 as your number so that you know
Yeah,
that you identified it.
Yeah, I have the recipes sorted down at the bottom.
Oh, okay. Just wanted to make sure. Sounds good. And you said you're going to do which one?
The green-footed cougar.
Okie dokie. You've got 1 bone. Is that the one you're doing?
Yeah, just change it to 0, but yeah.
Okay. And the bone. It has... Oh, sorry. Roll me your d20.
Where is it? There it is.
It's just pass fail.
D20.
A 1 is a failure. Everything else is success. And like I said, for a 20, you can get an extra... A freebie. Why not?
4.
4. Okay, that counts. It's got level 0 mending, which is actually kind of a nice spell in this world, in this forest. Level 0 true strike. And a level 2 see invisibility.
Okay.
Great. So that is the end of your second watch. Let me roll with disadvantage from your inspiration point to see whether or not you have an encounter this watch. You do not.
Nice. I'll shimmy down the tree and wake up Diamondback.
Okay. If you want to convey any information to him, feel free to about your watches or about his, or also feel free not to.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say I'd heard a few things, but stayed vigilant, and nothing came too close.
Okay.
Excellent. You have some scat on your sleeve.
I wipe it on the front of his chest. I was gonna say his shirt, but he has no shirt.
A slight brouhaha ensues, but nothing that wakes anyone else up.
So, Matt,
Yes.
you are now the only one awake. Belvari is taking his long rest. Actually, you might not be. I guess now Yoshka, Gulb, and Davina have all had a long rest. They can wake up and do things too. You could actually all do the watch together, and only one of you would have to be vigilant. If more than one of you is vigilant, I will take an extra die on the disadvantage for each one of you that wants to be vigilant.
I don't know how the sleeping works. If I sleep another 4 hours, do I get more hit points back?
If you sleep a long
Nope.
rest, you just click that long rest button and you're restored pretty well. On your character sheet, there's a long rest. And
Okay.
You get all of your hit points back and half of your hit die. Come
So
back.
you're in great shape. I will tell you right now, just because to give you all a hint, your odds as of now, your odds of getting an encounter in this last watch are better than 50-50.
Okay.
So sorry, worse than 50-50 if you don't want the encounter.
Diamondback is like, I will watch. I fear that these carcasses will attract predators. Would anyone care to watch in the other direction?
I'm happy to.
So what you see is
Sorry, real quickly, Gulb and Yoshka, are you going to? Josh, you're muted, I think.
I am.
Okay, so the three of you. Yoshka, are you going to also keep watch or do something else like check your spell components?
Would it help?
So what's going to happen is when I roll this, I'm going to roll a d20. For each one of you actively keeping watch, I will roll an additional d20 and take the lowest value.
Okay. Yeah, I'll help.
Okay. So we're going to roll 5 d20, and the lowest one is the roll.
We're all so paranoid.
All right, here we go. Let's see, your difficulty rating. Okay, and let's see if we can get lower than that. You did.
so.
And-
Robert,
Sorry, go ahead.
I should have spoken up before you rolled, but
That's fine. Tell me.
I want to make sure that Diamondback is protected from exhaustion, even though I don't need to get any hit points back or any spell slots or anything. So I don't technically
long
need
rest.
a
No,
long rest.
you took a 4-hour rest. You're not
Yeah.
going to be exhausted tomorrow.
Awesome, great.
Yeah.
Diamondback should have gotten a 8-hour rest. He was resting for 2 watches.
Oh yeah, you got a long rest,
Belvari.
Diamondback. Because
Okay.
Belvari did too. He's not going to be tired, is what I mean to say. Okay, great. You did not get an encounter, but something else happened, which you will find out a little bit later. Don't worry about it. So that means the 4 hours pass. Y'all are maybe whispering to each other, but looking in the cardinal directions or something like that. And anytime anything comes close that you can detect, you are able to, scare it away. Boogie, something like that. So
And they can softly hear little snatches of some tune that Yoshka's humming or something.
Okay, great.
Hey, Scat Cat, we're making tight rhymes down here.
So it is now the morning, and we'll call that 6 a.m. Right? Sort of canonically, that's about what time it's going to be. It's 6 a.m. and you can wake up Belvari, and also the 4 of you are awake. You've been vigilant. It really helped, and now it is time for you to do something else. Remember, I will be rolling for daytime encounters again while you're here. So for the first
Belvari's already awake.
in the first
and
4
he's
hours,
like,
I'll
"Hey,
roll
we
one
should
more
leave."
encounter. Okay, Belvari's awake. Great.
Yeah, let's not be
Yeah,
here for
yeah.
long. Let's get out of here. The longer we stay around this tree, the scarier things get.
Gulb, I will let you spend an hour if you want grabbing bone and leather, and I won't roll an encounter in that 1 hour. In that same hour, you can roll. I usually do the encounter like sort of mid-watch-ish, so you've been there for a couple hours. The rest of you, if you want to eat a ration, something like that,
I need to roll for my hit die.
do it.
I rolled a 1.
This is a
That's
harsh
the
forest.
worst.
Hey,
Wait, did you level up?
Yeah.
everybody who got a long rest, that's the time to level up if you have the experience.
So I get 1 hit point plus
Plus
1.
your
For
con.
Constitution.
How do you do leveling up on the D&D sheet? Does it automatically do it or something?
No, I'll show you how in a second. But Gulb, you got 1 hit point plus your con bonus, right?
Yeah.
So that's good. Davina, I think you also leveled up. This is a great time for us to just run through this for those of you who don't know. Yoshka, you are also level 2 now.
Oh, that's so brutal.
So
Manage levels, right?
yeah, go
Yep.
click your little gear icon next to your name. And we already added the experience last time, so this time do manage levels. Bump yourself to level 2, or whatever your level is, but for both of you it should be level 2. Davina, are you there?
I'm very close.
I mean, are you at that spot? Not, hey, are you there?
I clicked the level
Great.
manage levels.
Okay, and see where it says you're level 1? Mm-hmm. You have sufficient experience to go ahead and go to level 2, so do that.
Okay.
And then there's a set of options you have where you can, all those little pluses next to you, like your first one is hit points. Click that, it'll expand, and you get, in your case, Davina, 1d8 per druid level, which is to say you should roll a d8 and an actual d8 die.
Got a 4?
Okay, and then whatever your con bonus is, if you look at your character, I'll just tell you actually, so you don't have to.
But if you click manage HP,
where is
then
that?
you will see that there's a
up at the top.
block called rolled HP, and if she just puts 4 in there, it will calculate the bonus from Constitution.
Do you see that, Aaron Joy?
It's still loading.
Oh, sorry, I'm not meaning to rush you. In the meantime, Jared, did you do that process?
I am on the. Let's see. Can I share my screen?
It started to, I think.
Here we go. I am looking at this. So
I'm going to
it
temporarily.
looks like there's a couple different options of how to approach this or something.
Yeah, you're going to
I
roll
thought I
your
was just
dice.
gonna roll.
So you're a bard, so roll, I think it's 1d8, isn't it, for a bard?
Okay, that is an easy way.
Yeah.
One.
Wow, man.
That's terrible.
Matt got a 2, Gulb got a 1, Yoshka got a 1.
Rough.
That is brutal.
This tree is sorry. Gold wakes up and like feels himself and is like, this tree is cursed and we must leave it immediately.
So, but if you're looking at the manage hit points, just so you guys understand the interface, the
already
very
did
top
that.
it says maximum hit points, and that's your max hit points. The rolled HP is the numbers that are added up from the dice that you rolled. So you need to, like, if you have 4 and you just rolled a 1, you need to put a 5 into that box.
Yep.
And then
That's
hit
what I
point
did.
bonuses plus whatever from Constitution, that automatically gets added. So you don't need to add in your Constitution bonus yourself. It's doing that
Oh.
for you.
Oh,
The only
Okay.
thing that you add is the amount that you just rolled. So you should go from
And Yoshka,
8
like that?
to
Yoshka, I just switched yours to it was on fixed hit points. I just switched it to manual, so you might need to refresh your page. I'm not sure.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm confused. I used to say rolled hit point 8, and then I actually rolled a dice and I got a 4. Do I put that 4 in HP modifier, or do I
No.
myself add it there? Or
Under the 12.
Put a 12 under rolled HP.
okay,
That's like your actual die roll, and then it'll automatically add bonuses that you have for you.
okay, thanks.
It's a little unintuitive, but yeah. Okay, good. And then the rest of those where it has little proficiencies like, animal handle. You can choose a proficiency. You can choose new spells. All of that you can do as part of your leveling up. We will go ahead and continue, but also during our 10-minute break, you can feel free to select some of those, or while other people are doing stuff, and you say, sure, yeah, Jared, you want to reshare
real
your?
Quick, when Gulb gets up that morning and he steps out of the tree into the yard, he picks up the antlers and he kind of goes, "Whoa!" and he gives like a big shout, and you see a flash of thunder. There's this like flashing bright loud crack, and it's as loud as anything you've ever heard that him make. He's got an ability that lets him make extra boomy thunder stuff. So I think he just like it manifests that morning.
Is that a racial ability or a magic ability?
Leaves.
Cleric domain of the storm.
Okay. Gur 8.
Navari leaves the clearing, heads northish, heads upstream.
Okay.
Does not want to be near loud noises.
So, Gulb, do you want to grab some meat and some leather and bone?
Yes, he would like to harvest the antlers and the hides so that he can use them to make basically bone splint armor with
How much?
the antlers arranged in vertical pieces around his rib cage. So basically splint armor.
How much weight are you carrying? 22 pounds. You're unencumbered. How much weight can you carry?
So for the purposes
360.
But you have to take that for a size large creature.
Okay. I'm just looking in D&D Beyond, what it says. What I'll let you do, Josh, is you can have as much leather and bone as you can carry without encumbrance, or you can be encumbered, I guess. But you have to actually put that weight in your inventory.
Okay.
So you can walk around with 200 pounds of stuff, but you're gonna have to haul it.
Yeah. So my strength is so it's that times 15 doubled. My strength score is 12. 12 times 15 is 180 times 2. Gotcha. I see what you mean. Okay. Okay.
When you
360 pounds. I think you can make armor out of less than 300 pounds worth of antlers and hide and stuff, right?
Yeah, you're going to get right around a third. You're going to recuperate in usable final materials a third of what you carry. So if you carry 100 pounds, you'll get 33 pounds out of it of usable stuff. There's waste.
So how much weight do I need to have to make that splint mail?
Give me a sec. I will just look up some random armor on D&D Beyond, and
okay,
that will help me to tell you good information instead of just making up random garbage. And you're trying
Josh,
to make. Sorry, go ahead.
Is somebody still injured?
No.
Nope, I'm all healed up.
Josh, what kind of equipment are you trying to make?
I was trying to make splint armor, and here it says that the weight is 60. So if I carry 180 pounds worth of materials, can I make 60 pounds worth of armor?
So you're going to make bone splinted instead of metal splinted.
Yeah.
Okay. Flexible chainmail protects the joints. Yeah, I'll let you do that. 60 pounds. You'll need 60 pounds worth of. I'm willing to do like something like 40, 20. Let's do 40 of leather, 20 of bone, and triple
Okay.
it to get how much you need to take with you.
Okay, so 120 and 60. Okay.
Deal?
Although I hear antler is stronger than most stone.
Yeah, so I need 120 of antler and 60 of leather, or the other way around.
You need 120 of leather and,
Oh, okay.
and 60 of antler.
Okay.
And I will.
I got that.
Great. And when it's time for that, when you get to somewhere where you can tan the leather and dry it and do whatever, right?
Yeah.
That weight will get cut down. And then when you get to, if at the same place or a future place, you can forge it into the armor, it'll become what it is.
Even less. Okay.
So
Sounds good.
Sound good?
Sounds good to me.
Okay. So what do y'all want to do? We will take our break actually, let's take our break in
Now.
a minute. Let's take a break in a minute. And first, let's decide. You spent an hour here. Everybody should decrement your rations if you ate a ration. If you did not eat a ration, there is a chance that you will get hungry and fatigued if you don't eat for very long. So
There's a bunch of rations in the shared component.
Yeah.
Anybody needs one.
y'all have
Let's
a fair
not eat
bit.
our rations. Let's take some of this meat that we just killed last night and eat it on the
Yeah.
way. Keep our rations.
I'm gonna roast some of the meat that's just lying around from Gulb's.
Belvari moves further away from the clearing.
Gulb intentionally pulls out the 2 tenderloins from the back. So there's 4 giant tenderloins of like filet mignon meat. It's like one of the easiest things to get out of the animal. And it's just right there.
I'll eat the liver.
Okay.
The liver is like the
Touche.
size of you.
So hey, did we already get the components out of the creatures? Did we roll that last
Yeah.
time? Okay.
Yeah.
So, what do you want to do? Yoshka, you have been leading them generally northeast towards which means the from where y'all are, that leads you more or less neither inward nor outward from the Iron Bell. A little bit more towards Iron Bell, so the beasts are getting easier, the Iron Bell's getting more prevalent, but you're going generally northward. And that's where you know that your land is, although you don't know exactly where the town is you're looking for, but you know that that's the direction.
Yeah, and I'm hoping that I'll come across some little village that
Sure.
my clan has stopped at before.
Yep. Do y'all all want to move out? Are you going to go together? All right. What I want you to do, it's daytime. There is no visible threat, although the stench of blood and burn and all kinds of stuff is thick in this area. So you move out. What I'd like you to do is each of you roll me a survival check. This is our mechanism for seeing how you make progress.
23.
Okay.
I rolled a
It's gonna
15.
be a 7 for old Diamondback. He filled up on liver and now he's waddling through the forest.
Farting.
Yeah.
So it sounds like Belvari got the best with a 23.
Did.
Sorry.
He did.
Okay. Belvari, I'd like for you to roll me a an investigation check.
Investigation. 11.
Okay, that is enough for our 50-50 difficulty. You have found a very small road, a path, but it is clearly human used, it's clearly townspeople type used, not animal path. It's got some ruts from maybe wagon wheels and stuff like that. It runs. One of the directions runs generally in the direction y'all are trying to go, sort of northeast-ish, and the other direction it bends where you found it and generally runs kind of west-southwest. The direction y'all have been moving is kind of in that northeast direction, so make a decision which way you want to go.
When Belvari sees the path, he squats down and waits for everyone else to catch up.
Okay. Everyone else has now caught up.
He then
What do you think, guys?
says,
Do any of
"Hey,
you guys
there's a
have any?
path."
Do you guys have any vibes? Does it look
Yoshka-
familiar to anybody?
Yoshka comes up last, humming this little tune.
Diamondback
These-
looks up at Yoshka and says, I don't get to decide where we go.
Do I recognize this path at all?
You don't.
Golb's eyes went and he looks from Diamondback over to Davina and gives her like a. Can we talk about that later? All right.
While you do not recognize the path, you recognize the kind of path. These happen in the forest. There's towns moving around. The fact that there's a path means that there's a relatively established, or eventually some in one direction or the other, two relatively established towns such that there's been movement between, or there could be more than two. Often there'll be a path and little towns are on the sides of them, or little, stations or something. But yeah, make a call. It does not look. It's not like it doesn't look like a trap. It looks like a normal kind of path you would have seen, like the one that Diamondback and Sleen took as they approached the other town that Yoshka and Davina ended up getting kicked out. It's same basic kind of path.
Golb goes over to the tracks, the actual width of the tracks themselves, and puts his fingers in there and holds it up and holds that up to Yoshka and says, "Do these look like the wagons of your people?"
Yes, perhaps. Let's take this.
Good.
All right, Golb gets down and looks at the direction in which all the grass is crushed and has his nose to the ground and is sniffing and staring at it as he's walking like a bear. And then he kind of pops up and he points. Do we agree? This way?
It's not a grassy path particularly, but it looks like there might have been both directions of traffic on it in recent memory. Within the past month, somebody's gone back and forth on it one way or another.
Is there a more recent direction, or does that
Not that you can
require a
tell.
separate check?
No,
What?
Not that you can tell.
Okay.
So people go from someplace to someplace. Whichever way we want to go, we're going to wind up at a someplace that has people. Let's go there and see if we can make any use of the people, or at least sit and let Golb develop his armor, and if a disaster befalls, it'll befall in a crowd. That could be nice.
Westward.
So is there a clear direction that is more towards civilization?
If you go westward, you're going downstream, which is going to be into the wilds further. If you go northeastward, Yoshka's been leading you northeastward. It's relatively towards where his people are, and it is neither more into the wilds nor more into the diamond
civilization.
The Iron Bell by much. You're staying northeastward keeps you approximately the same level of wilderness. The sort of westward way takes you pretty much into the wilds more, but away from the Iron Bell. But towards
So we are already going the correct direction, and these tracks coincide and go the same way.
Okay,
Yeah, so we'll go that way. Eastward.
great. So on a road, y'all are making a much better time than you on a path. On a it's not like a well-developed road or anything, but you're going to make much better time, and it's going to be safer. What I want you to do now, we'll take a break. We'll do a couple of little rolls here. And
Just as a note, Belvari does not join them on the road. He would, about 50 feet to the south, he would follow them.
50 feet.
Belvari, did your puppy join us again? Or fearsome
I mean,
accompany
he's with
animal?
me. He's with Belvari.
Okay.
Great. So you're going to be about 50 feet off to the side of the road, basically.
Yeah.
Okay, that sounds fine. We're just going to do our quick check again. I just want everybody to roll me a survival check.
17.
Okay.
6.
6.
Oh,
Should have
And-
stayed on the trail.
15.
survival.
Uh-huh. This is just the same basic check to see who's the one who encounters if there's who sees something, if there's something to see, that kind of thing.
Okay.
In the night, if you all remember, I said something happened. Let me see. Who had the highest roll there?
The 17?
Yeah. Who
Who
was
was
that?
In that case, I had 17.
Roll me a d12.
All right. Here you go. 11.
Because of the way I rolled, in the night for your encounter, I rolled, because you were all on watch, I happened to roll a critical failure on the encounter, right? Which means it inverses the concept of failures. Failure for like the DM who's trying to murder you all. Failure for the force. Which means that there were actually...
Young woman named Celine steps out of the shadows.
Ooh, that'd be a great.
That's right. So what happened was you heard something tussling. There was an encounter in the night, but it wasn't with you. You heard tussling in the distance somewhere, and you just found what made that tussling. It is you found a corpse. It is the corpse. Oops, I clicked the wrong thing. Let me just really quickly. It is the corpse of a chimpanzee. The chimpanzee, it's a little off the path, got in a fight with something, and you are able to get stuff from it if you want.
Let's do it.
Excellent. Free corpse.
I'm going to take its shoes.
Good idea. If you want to use a detect magic, you can definitely get magic components if there are any. If you don't, you'll get a random selection, and maybe they will have magic and maybe not.
I don't think I have anything for detect magic.
Okay.
I don't have to detect
I
magic.
do. I do. I
If
will do
somebody
it.
else does- okay.
I will do it. I cast the detect magic as soon as I get my Google Drive up, but I go ahead and do it now.
Roll me a
I'll be up to it
d12.
in a second.
That's fine, no problem. Roll me a d12 for which to detect. How many of them you're going to be able to get?
Okay. I rolled an 11.
Okay, great. You get basically you have an opportunity to get anything magical out of it except for actually this had 11 components, so you'll know everything about it, or rather,
Nice.
which ones are magical.
Okay.
You ready?
So I am going to erase one of my red-bellied snake brains.
Uh-huh.
So he brings out a little bit of snake brain and he rubs it between his fingers and he kind of traces them through the air in a snake pattern and he kind of shimmies his spine while he's doing it. There's a little bit of ritual that goes with it. It doesn't help, but it goes with it.
That's awesome.
This
And
is
so-
reminiscent of the ways of my people.
Here's what you see. This slender-tailed chimpanzee has a little tiny tail. It has magic, and you can tell that it has some parts that are not magical. The following are magical. The glands, you can find some glands that are magical. The scat in its bowels are magical. The
Okay.
skin, nails, like the claws, the nails, and the tail.
So gland, scat, skin, nails, tail.
Yeah, and I'm just going to roll a quick d4 on my side to see how much you get of each one. You got
Okay.
4 glands,
Okay.
5 scat,
Okay.
2 skin,
Okay.
2 nails,
Okay.
and 5 bits of tail.
Okay.
And all of that, you know for sure, has magic.
Nice.
Detect magic is a first level spell, right?
It is.
It is
I believe.
indeed.
Those are
So
considered
yeah,
valuable components. What's that, Matt?
So he had to use 2 components, one of different types.
Yeah.
One of the red-bellied snake and one of the white-striped newt. But I performed the
Nice.
ritual
preferential to the red belly snake.
I love it.
Sometimes I like to treat my ingredients a little unequally. You know what I mean?
Great. One of the things about being on a road is that you make better than wilderness time as you travel. So you are traveling along the road. We're going to do one more roll, and then we're going to take our 10-minute break. Everybody just do your survival roll, and we'll do the highest roll.
$20
There you go.
plus 2 is 22.
Okay.
Natural 20.
Anybody beat a 22?
No, 18 plus 3 is 21.
Okay. So Matt,
I got
roll
a
me.
20.
What's that, Aaron?
Oh, I was saying I got a
Okay.
20. This was a good one. Too bad we weren't fighting something.
That was a good one. Matt,
Yep.
go ahead and roll me a perception check.
All right.
This is your second hour of walking on the road.
I've got to
Awesome.
jump up. I've got to jump up to take a break for a sec.
Yeah,
I'll
no
be back.
problem.
8 plus 2 is 10.
That meets our 50-50. You notice a stack of stones on the side of the road. They're familiar to all of you, more or less familiar. Diamondback, you can point them out if you like. Basically, it is an indicator of how far until the next town. Gives you a sense, like it's not. Basically, the taller the stack, the farther you are from a town in the direction that you're going by the side of the road that it's on. And so what you notice is that you are right in the neighborhood of a day and a half, you would guess, travel along the road to the nearest town. One of the things you all would also know is that it is not common, but not exactly uncommon. It's not rare for towns to put little outposts for people who are trying to go long distances. So there's a good chance that you'll be able to find some kind of secure location if you stay along the road for staying the night. It could be like a small hut or something, or maybe even a tent or something, a clearing. I don't mean a clearing, like a campsite or something like that. But there's, you're going to have better protection if you can find that thing along the road somewhere. It is currently, what did we say? It's about 9 a.m. You've been traveling or you woke up at 6. It's about 9 a.m. And you are in a really good spot as far as security goes. You have found a road, and you now know that about a day, maybe a day and a half of travel from where you are right now is a town. And it's safer on a road than not on a road. Let's take our break here. We will pick up traveling at our 9 to 10 hour when we get back, and it'll be 10 o'clock. No, I'm sorry. We'll come back at 9:20, let's say, so about a 6-minute break. That's where we'll end this episode. Thanks for listening. You can get more details about the world and the story we're telling at the starfallcollective.com. This is The Dying of the Light, Season 3 of the Starfall Collective. Starfall Collective is a collaborative storytelling group using the Dungeons & Dragons game system as a vehicle for creating rich and compelling stories in a fictional world, probably, that we have been developing together for a while. You can find out more about the collective as well as the stories that we're telling at thestarfallcollective.com. We are back with episode 15. Let's find out who's in this episode. We'll run through. I am Sir Robert, the game master and part-time father and entrepreneur. I am the host of this season's story. With me tonight are a few friends playing the characters in this drama. Please say your name, something about yourself if you like, and a brief description of the character that you're playing. This time, let's keep your description from the nose up. Let's start with Aaron Joy.
Aaron Joy, druid, would-be architect.
Okay.
Actually, Davina is the druid and would-be architect. I am myself.
And not bald.
And not bald.
Yoshka. Well, actually, sorry, Josh, if you're
Neither
here.
of us are bald.
That's right. Josh, if you're here. No? Also with us is Josh playing Gulb, the fierce cleric, who is a bodybuilder, or at least he will start being a bodybuilder at level 3, apparently. Jared.
I'm Jared. I'm playing Yoshka. He is a lost gypsy bard.
Dwight.
I'm playing Belvari. He is nondescript.
Okay. And Dwight is the only, as you can tell from if you were looking on the stream, he is the only remaining member of Daft Punk. Matt.
Hi, my name is Matthew Talamini. I am a writer and web developer based out of Providence, Rhode Island, and I'm playing, or you can find my stuff at MatthewTalamini.com. That's Matthew, TALAMINI.com. And from the nose up, what you see are some real emo eyes on my character, Diamondback. I think like short black hair that he keeps really short, and probably pretty light but pretty thin but dark eyebrows, sort of Jafar brows, I would say. There would be eyeshadow if such a thing exists in this world, but there probably isn't. But as soon as he
Ashes in the fire.
Is this Matt's Halloween costume, or is this his persona at the next LARP, or
all of the above? This
is who you would go as?
This is just how I remember him from college.
Oh yes, Jafar eyebrows for sure, and cheekbones. He's got that Jafar cheekbone to chin to eyebrow thing going for sure.
So let's
without a beard.
No, he was describing Diamondback. Matt, I have zero memories of you without a shirt.
Yeah, that's probably right.
Just telling you. Okay. It is 9 a.m.
I do not.
Previously, the troop here fled from the vicious tree in which they were staying and have made good on their escape. They are a couple of hours away. They actually stuck around for a little bit for Gulb to harvest some componentry from those giant elk. On their way, they found Belvari astutely happened to find a road that they could travel on. They made a decision to go northeast on the road, northeast again on the road instead of to the west. And a little bit later, Diamondback, after they've been traveling for a while, they're making good time on the road because a road, they travel much faster than in the wilderness, and also they know which direction.
To a pile of stones.
He did. Why don't you tell us about it?
And with the pile of stones, I gesture to it and I turn to the others and say, "I recognize these markings. They are left to guide travelers. It indicates that some civilized destination is within roughly 1.5 days of travel from this point."
Anybody want to say anything about that, or we can just start rolling?
I think Gulb would go over and just try to confirm it. Can he make a check to
This is something
basically?
This is a relatively familiar method of marking this. You all would understand it pretty well.
So he recognizes the truth of what Diamondback said.
Yeah, it's a pile of stones that is, marking. There's no concrete way of determining how much it is, but basically a big pile means further and a little pile means closer. And so based on the fact that it's a little pile of stones, it's a certain size pile of stones, you're guessing that there's the town responsible for the pile of stones, or the person who wanted to mark its distance, says it's in the neighborhood of a day and a half travel from here. That's, again, it's a very imprecise thing, right? Because you're not allowed to write. The Iron Bell would demolish it if it's on the edge. They can't write like 16 miles. Instead, it just is a pile of stones. So, sorry, I said Diamond Bell for the second time. The Iron Bell. Okay, why don't we make some travel? Roll your. Sorry, somebody saying something to me? Nope. Okay. As you're traveling around the road.
Oh, I was just saying the bell was upgrading their material.
That's right. That's right. They are smelting iron now. I'm sorry, smelting diamond now. As you travel, you can stay on the road and not really care about encounters. Your chance of an encounter is very low if you're on the move. It can happen, so if one of you wants to be vigilant, that is fine, or more of you. But it is pretty low. It's not a real concern, I would say. However, you may also, as you travel along the road, you may also look for plants or little animals that might have components. So feel free to do either of those things. You've got some hours to travel, and if you want to start looking for sheltery places, it's 9 o'clock. You can do that whenever you like. But if you find one, like, for example, this hour, you might not want to stay there because you've still got a day of travel if you want to go to this town. So 9 o'clock, what's going on?
Diamondback will be looking for components.
Okay.
Gulb will be using Detect Magic to try to look for more components that can provide him with Detect Magic components.
Sure. Okay, so what I want you to do...
Since we've got Belvari kind of off in the woods, making us not move at a sprint pace, can I mosey along while simultaneously checking to see if the components I have untested are magical now?
Yeah, I'll let you... excuse me.
Multitask.
I'll let you test your components as you walk.
In that case, that's what Diamondback will be doing as well.
Well, let's do that, and I'll just give you an hour for each one, just like we've been doing. I'm not going to give you any bonuses, like you'll get 3 this hour because whatever. If you roll a 20, I'll give you 2. If you roll a 1, you don't know anything about it. It destroys it without knowing. Anything else, you can figure out what's on it, but you're not paying attention or trying to be wary of predators or anything like that. But as I said, you're relatively safe. Okay, let's do it. Josh, you're using Detect Magic. You want to find a magical component. Am I right?
I do.
Why don't we do that first? There's so much magic in the woods. You definitely get something. You find something. What I want you to do is roll me a d12, which is our standard way. I generate 12 random things, and you can find something. So go ahead and roll for me.
All right, and a d12 you said?
Yeah. Actually, okay, go ahead. Roll me a d12, and that's good. Yeah.
9.
Okay. Great. I would like for you to, let's see, you find, as you're walking along, you cast this Detect Magic spell. You use these components. You destroy them as as people do, and the black mist comes. And sometimes as this happens, it happens in different ways, but this time, as sometimes happens, the black mist comes and swirls around your eyes, almost as lenses that you're looking through and seeing the magic of the forest. You find in the distance a willow tree that you recognize as magical.
Okay.
And as a matter of fact, and for whatever reason, it has a significant sense of magic about it.
Nice. Okay.
So
it's what kind of willow tree?
It is And you want to go harvest it, I'm guessing, right?
Yes.
It is a gray branch willow.
I'm going to follow him and just take whatever he takes.
Okay, you're sticking with him on this one. So this will
Yep.
be your what you're doing instead of a component this time.
Okay.
Instead of like testing a component. Okay, and what I want you to do, I'll let actually each of you roll for me. Well, actually, sorry. Gulb, if you want to use more detect magic, you can tell which parts are magical again. Otherwise, I'll need a D6 to determine how many random pieces you select from it. Either way, I
No,
need
he will burn 2 more
Okay.
of these. Okay.
And what did you
He
get
takes
rid
out
of?
the snake and newt. Go ahead.
Sorry, what did you say you did?
I used a red-bellied snake and a white-striped newt brain paste,
Okay.
and I used detect magic to perfectly harvest.
Sounds great. And I'm going to let you, in this particular case, working with Davina, I'm going to let you each roll a d6 on it.
Okay. Nice. 4.
Okay.
1.
Okay. So Davina, you'll get one extra thing that you'll get one thing from it, and he'll get 4 of them. Actually, you determine, Gulb, that only 2 of the components are magical.
Okay.
However, one of them is significantly more magical than the other.
Whoa.
Which is great. You get both of them because you are harvesting.
Okay.
So let me roll you your number. You get... Oops, shoot. Sorry. That rolled into the tip of my cigar. You get...
Jack dice.
That's right. You get 4 leaves of the gray
Okay.
branch willow
Okay.
and 3 sap.
Okay.
Davina, if you'll just roll me a d20. We're just looking for which one of those 2 you get.
Okay.
Do I know which of those 2 is more potent?
Yeah, I'll tell you in a sec.
Okay.
4.
You got a 4. You get a leaf. Well, you get 2 leaves. All right. And that was just a 50-50, 10 or over. Over 10, 10 or under. And you can tell that the sap Gulb is quite powerful. Or, it's
Okay.
more powerful of the 2. Great. Josh, I'm sorry, not Josh. Yoshka, Belvari, and Diamondback, do you want to tell me which components you want to identify? Sorry, Gulb and
Belvari
Davina find their
will,
way back to the road.
Belvari will just be looking for creatures to hit with his staff.
Okay. Sounds good. We'll do that real quickly. Belvari, you would just want to look for some animal.
Yeah.
Okay, roll me a d12.
Eight.
An 8. Give me 1 second. I've got to restrict this to... What level are you? 2?
Yeah. Yes.
And you rolled an 8. It is... Sorry, give me a sec. There we go. Great. You found a horse.
Ah.
Do you want to try to fight it?
I would like to animal handle it and see if I can ride it.
To ride it. Okay. Sure.
Good luck with that, son. I have tried this maneuver, and I got kicked to death.
Turn into a panther first.
That's right. Belvari, go ahead and roll me a animal handling check. Not only will this determine the success or failure, but the scale of which you roll, like if it's a critical failure, will determine things like whether it's aggressive towards you or it just doesn't respond, or if you're able to like hop on.
Gotcha. 14.
14, which is that including your bonus?
Yeah.
Okay. It is not enough to like capture it, but it trots away from you. You could go. It's just kind of spooked by you a little bit and is running away. You can pursue it if you want, or look for an easier thing. Other things that you could have found, by the way, include things like small lizards that could have components or whatever. But do you want to pursue, or do you want to?
Yeah, I'll just let him. I'll just let him go off.
Okay. So that hour was that for you. It is now Diamondback. You want to tell me, Yoshka? You want to tell me what you're doing?
You want to go first, Matt?
Yeah, Yoshka.
Yes.
Why don't you go first? Oh, sorry, no, Matt. Why don't you go first? I didn't know y'all were resolving it.
Diamondback is evaluating the ichor of the red-ringed cicada.
Okay. Roll me a d20.
It's going to be a 12.
Okay. You find that it has level 1 cure wounds.
Ooh.
And Yoshka?
I am going to be evaluating the skin of the broad-backed rat.
Okay.
No, wait. I should do the feet. And roll a d20, you said?
Yeah.
And what is it, a certain kind of roll?
No, it's just a d20.
Very well. Oops. Oh, dang it. I just doubled it. Sorry.
That's okay. You can just re-roll if you want or whatever.
I cannot see it. It's 16.
Okay, yeah, it worked fine. And you did the what? The foot?
Yeah.
Foot has nothing.
Very well.
Okay. Next hour, it is now, that was a 9 to 10. 10 o'clock. Do the next one. And, oh, sorry, and then I'm going to roll for your encounter. Oh, shoot, I dropped the die. Wow, no encounter, but it was close. Okay, 10 o'clock hour. Gulb, Davina, Yosh. Why don't we start with Diamondback? What do you want to do?
Diamondback would like to. I think he's sort of figured out that Belvari is kind of hunting on the side, and he sort of splits off from Yoshka and Gulb and Davina, and goes to just silently, companionably, not making any fuss, walking alongside Belvari, and doing whatever Belvari is doing along with him.
Okay.
Hey, look out for that root.
Belvari, what do you want to do with Diamondback amiably at your side?
I pat the
I will
dog.
look for another animal to crack on the head with my stick.
Do it again.
Harass.
Absolutely.
It's a horse harasser. Horse bonker.
harassment. Horse hunt. We're not putting horse hunt down on the list for Kelly's birthday.
Roll me a d12.
11.
Okay. You found a deer this time.
Nice. I will run up to it and hit it with my quarterstaff right on the head.
Sounds good. That sounds...
I twirl my sling.
Okay.
And
roll me your initiative.
my
I
initiative.
don't get a
is
free hit for being.
It is a deer.
My
It is always
initiative
on the
would be,
lookout for Belvaris.
Oh, right. Yeah, that makes sense.
13.
That's 17.
Okay. Sorry, real quickly. I got to find a deer here in... There it is. Got it. And I've got to also... Sorry. Yes, I got you. 1 second here. Diamondback is doing this, as well as Belvari is doing this.
Yep.
Okay. Great. And we... Can I just go straight into it? No, I have to save it and run it. Okay. Sorry about that. Belvari, you got what?
17.
17. Diamondback got...
13.
And the deer, Let's see what he got. A 5. So you do actually get a first hit on it, Belvari. Go for it.
Nice. 14.
Okay. That is a hit. What's your damage?
7.
7 damage. What do you hit it? What's your weapon? Your quarterstaff?
Quarterstaff.
Okay. You go through and you give it a good old slam. You said on the head.
Uh-huh.
Okay. You break its skull open and also from the top. And you also break its jaw and the top several vertebrae. It is quite dead. You have successfully found this deer and done it.
A rock whizzes by you 6 seconds later and thunks off a tree. It probably would have hit the deer if the deer hadn't had its head crushed a minute before. 6 seconds before.
So let's get some components if you want. You want components?
We
Sure.
both do.
Okay. Roll me a D. Each of you can roll me a D. What? Hold on. 10.
Here goes. 1.
5.
Literal 1. Uno.
And what'd you get at Bavari?
5.
5. Okay. Let's see what you get. Here we go. Belvari, you get 4 of the tail. 2 of the... you get both eyes, which were miraculously undamaged. And 4... You get all 4 hooves, Belvari.
Uh-huh.
That one is not a good roll because of the thing. You get 3 of the scat. Is that 5 or did we just do 4?
Okay. That's 4.
And you get 4 of the 4 bits of fur. Diamondback, you
Nice.
get...
And what
What's the
is this?
creature?
This is an orange-footed deer. Diamondback, you get 2 of the 2 bits of brain, probably just the ones that splattered onto you.
Oh, I was far away.
Oh,
Didn't
never
splatter
mind
on me.
It was a pretty strong hit. Yoshka, what do you want to do?
Check out my broad-backed rat brain.
Okie dokie.
I will roll a d20. Oops. B
Oh, good.
for 20.
So you get a freebie. The brain had nothing. What about the others?
Great.
But you get a freebie, right? So pick another one.
Okay. Okay, and the much beloved scat.
Okay. Also has nothing.
Great.
Sorry. So it may be worth keeping those and noting that they have nothing rather than just throwing your knowledge of them away.
I mean, okay.
You could throw them all away and have 0 of them in your inventory, but then you know that they're nothing. You don't have to. I'm just offering. Gulb and Davina, what are you going to do?
If Gulb has any ability to do this on the road, he would probably start trying to. So, is this an hour during which we can identify things? Because I think I might want to just identify that stat.
Yeah, you can identify stuff.
Yeah, I'll do that. I'll identify the stat.
Okay. No problemo. Let me get your... Sorry. I just closed. Sorry, I just closed your thing accidentally.
Okay.
Component pouches.
Simultaneously.
Josh. Yeah.
Golb has done so much for me. I'm going to try and figure out the leaf and then just pass him the info when I have it.
Sure, and y'all can share. Of course, you can share info if you want. Josh, your the sap from the Grey Willow Branch. Roll me a d20.
Okay. 19.
Good. And let's see. It has on it. You are surprised to find that it actually has 5 spells on it.
Cool.
That was the significant magic you noticed.
Nice.
It has level 0 Shocking Grasp.
Nice. I like that.
Yeah. Level 0 Create Bonfire.
Okay.
Your favorite?
Level 1 Create or Destroy Water.
Nice.
Level 3 Gaseous Form.
Wow.
And level 6 Move Earth.
Nice. I like that one a lot.
It is, and you got several of them, which is cool.
Nice. Nice.
Davina, roll me a d20 for your leaves.
Mm-hmm.
And Gulb, she said she's going to pass you this info, so you can write this down, both of you.
Yeah.
I got a 6.
Okay. You get the leaf has level 2 Heat Metal.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I don't have any metal, and neither does anybody else. But as soon as somebody gets some metal, I'm prepared.
You know someone who has metal.
There's a bell made out of it.
And they all wear metal,
Right.
just to say.
Okie dokie.
All right. It is 11 o'clock. Let's do it again. Let's run through. If y'all, whatever y'all want to do, tell me. Diamondback, you can go first. Actually, you know what? Gulb and Davina, you go first this time.
I would like to know what the heck is up with all this slender-tailed chimpanzee stuff that I've got. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different types. So how many of those types can I identify in one sitting?
In 1 hour, 1, unless you use Detect Magic, and then you can roll me a d6 to see how many you can detect.
Okay, I'll do that. I'll spend some of my Detect Magic guys. And I'll roll a d6. 2. Nice. Okay. All right. Gland and scat, please.
Okie dokie. The gland has level 0 Dancing Lights. Level 1 Detect Poison and Disease. And the scat, which you actually have a fair bit of.
Okay.
And remember, you destroy one of each of these in the process always.
Oh.
For the sap and leaves, not for the leaves for you. Davina destroyed one, but you lost 1 sap. I don't know if you'd marked that off already or not.
Yeah.
The scat has level 0 Guidance. And level 6 Instant Summons. Which is cool.
Wow.
Yeah. Davina, your turn. What do you want to do during this hour? Walking
Investigate the flower of the Grimwood chokeberry tree.
Okay.
Wait, so I was looking for something that would give me Detect Magic, and I got this.
You didn't say that. You just said you wanted to look for something.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. All right, go ahead.
Okay. Sorry, we can do it next time.
Yeah, next time.
And you're looking at the flower, Davina?
Yep.
Okay. It has nothing.
Okay.
No,
Too bad.
no
I've
magic.
got 11 of them.
It's pretty though.
Yay.
Yoshka, what do you want to do?
Determine which other of these yes.
Broad-backed rat.
Yes. I will roll a dice. Natural 1.
Okay. What were you trying to identify?
The blood.
Okay. You are able to determine that you are unable to determine what it has.
Hey, at least you got that. It could have been worse.
and you used one up doing it. Belvari, what do you want to do?
That's right.
I'll go ahead and look for more things to
Sounds good.
kick in the bushes.
And
I'm going
Diamondback,
with
are you
him.
going to do it with him?
Diamondback will tag along.
Okay. And hey, I want to give you all a little bit of heads up, just as this is an out of character thing, out of game thing. The reason I introduced the detect magic for you, just so you know, is because it plays a role in this, and you're going to have more opportunities for it. So, this is a little tedious right now in some ways, but it's going to get less tedious the more you're able to detect various magics. Just as an encouragement for you. Tedious not in a bad way, it's just your characters don't have much power, right? Roll me a... actually, you know what? Roll me Diamondback and Belvari. If you roll me a D12 each of you, I will pick the better creature for you, because you're both trying together.
Nice. I got a 3.
Okay.
7.
And you're specifically looking for an animal, Belvari, right?
Yeah. Like things I would want to turn into.
Right.
Boars or wolves or bears.
Okay. You found... Well, actually, that one is a terrible one. You definitely did not find a seahorse. 1 second here.
A magic
Just flop it
pool
on the
in middle
ground.
of the forest, swarming with
Surrounded by 1,000
miniature
tiny
seahorses.
That's right. You tell me, Belvari,
Oh,
do
that's real nice.
did you find the toucan or the pangolin that was near you?
Oh, pangolin, definitely.
Okay. You found a pangolin.
Now you got the world's
Nice.
best come at me bro pose.
Let's fight it.
Let's fight it.
Hey, you leave that poor pangolin alone.
Nope.
They got hot
No.
enough time for the
Natural
hands of Chinese
20
businessmen
on
as it
initiative.
is, baby.
My initiative is going to be a 14.
Okie dokie.
Whoa,
I'm a
pangolin, baby.
I grasp it by the tail.
Just a pangolin begging on my
And
knees.
Belvari, what's your initiative?
Natural 20.
Ooh.
Just a pangolin, baby.
And a natural 20, so you have like a 23 or something, right? 22?
No, my
Begging,
initiative is
baby,
0.
please.
Oh, okay. So you got a 20, and the giant, the
What is
penguin,
that,
I mean,
dexterity?
also got a 20. Let's see. D&D Beyond says you go first, even though he also got a 20.
Nice. I run up and hit it with my quarterstaff.
Uh-huh.
Oh, it is a 8 to hit.
It deftly dodges, seeing you coming, and it does not get hit at all. You whack the ground next to it, but it then attacks you back with trying to bite you. Rolling a 20. Does that hit?
Definitely.
It gets a good piece of your calf, or maybe not. Let's see. It does a total of 5 damage.
Okay.
It is now Diamondback's turn.
Save me, Diamondback.
Diamondback is going to, attack with the sling from 30 feet away.
Do it.
I'm not right up in there with them. I'm slinging a rock at the pangolin from a distance.
Great.
Here it goes. 8 plus 5 is 13. Does 13 hit?
It does hit.
Yes. Thwack.
Diamondback zings
And,
it with a stone.
It is going to take a nasty 5 points of damage.
Diamondback puts the
Nice.
pain in Pangolin, and
Yeah.
it winces and gives you a sidelong glance of both disbelief at your treachery and surprise at your presence. Belvar,
More like pain go in. Am I right?
here you go.
Uh-huh.
Your turn.
Sick burn, bro.
Your turn, Belvari. You are currently engaged in a dance of death with a pangolin.
I will. I will give it a good whack with my stick.
Mhm.
18 to
Does
hit.
not hit. No, I'm just kidding. It does. How much
Get it,
damage?
Does 7 damage.
You thoroughly disrupt this pangolin's day and, in fact, the rest of its life. It has now decided to retire from being a denizen of the woods. You may harvest components. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'd like for you each to roll me a
Yes.
d6.
D6.
Here comes the D6. 5
Okay.
from
And-
Diamondback.
5 for me too.
Ooh.
What kind
let's
of?
see.
What's the name of this creature?
This is a grim-footed pangolin. Grimmer now. All right, here's what you get. Grim-footed pangolin. Belvari,
Huh?
you get 2 scat, 3 blood, 3 tongue, I'm letting you write those down, and also
I'm set.
3 foot and 3 skin. Okay. I rolled a whole bunch of 2s there, and a whole bunch of 3s there. Diamondback gets 3 of the skin, 5 feet, 5 bits of feet like toes, but we'll call them feet for the part that it is,
Okay.
and 2 each of tongue, blood, and brain.
Lavari, do we have any overlaps?
You do. You have
I
4
wasn't paying
overlaps.
attention.
Um.
I don't have brain.
You don't have brain, and he doesn't have scat.
Okay. How much tongue and blood do you have?
3 of each.
Oh. Well, we'll figure it out. We can figure it out without taking up
Yep.
airtime.
And then it is now noon. Give me 1 second here. Wow, another one. But you do not get an encounter. So great. This has been this episode has been a nice safe one for y'all, which is kind of neat because of the road. It's noon. What I'm gonna let y'all do is yeah, we're gonna roll again. I know it's moving along, but you're building up some nice supplies, so I'm okay with that. Josh, what do you want to do next? I think you're muted.
I am muted. I'm sorry.
No
I
worries.
believe at this point, Gull would very much like to get some more detect magic stuff.
Okay,
So he's going to use the last 2 that he's got and try to find more.
do it.
Okay. I've burned off the brains of the red-bellied snake and the white-striped newt.
Okay, and
His
roll.
skin becomes rubbery and semi-porous as he channels the power of the amphibians.
The power of the newt.
She turned me into a newt. I got better. Sorry.
All right. Give me 1 second here.
While you're doing that, I just want to say that after this, I will be having Aaron watch the Zebashu D&D 5th edition Heat Metal video.
Okay, sounds good.
That
Which is
sounds
a fun-
wonderful.
Animated short about this spell. Shout out to Zebashu. His videos are great.
Nice.
I don't know him or anything. but
I
he's
don't know
awesome.
anything about the video, but also I don't have that many streams of random D&D related info that crossed my path, but something about heat metal did cross my path within the last week. So there we are. It's like the spell I
Synchronicity.
know.
Josh, roll me a d20.
Sir. Okay. 15.
Good. Roll me a d12.
Okay.
That 15 means you did find one.
2.
Alrighty. One second here. There you are. All right. I was just looking here. Okay, great. You found a persimmon tree. It has it. You don't have to fight it. It's a plant. You can just go harvest from it. What would you like? Would you like to do that?
Yes, I would like to do that. I will harvest from the persimmon tree.
Roll me a d8.
5.
Okay, great. And let's see what you got here. Give me a second. Blah, blah, blah. Right here. 1, 2, 3. Okay, great. Here's what you get. You ready?
Ready?
Ooh, that's good for you. Whoa. For your 5 things, I just rolled 4 4s and a 1,
Wow.
which is on a d4, which is great. Which means you get actually add 1 to those. It's you got 5 5 5 5 and 2.
Okay.
You got 5 of the seeds, 5 of the leaves, 5 roots,
Okay.
5 bark,
Okay.
and 5 flowers. Oh, sorry, and 2 flowers.
Okay. And what kind of persimmon tree is it?
It is the pointy flower persimmon tree. And I'll just tell you because you were specifically looking for that. One of the ingredients that you got does have detect magic on it.
Do I know which one because of the
No.
spell?
No, you
Okay.
still got to identify. But you know that the
Okay.
tree had it, and you got magical bits off of it that, you're confident about that. You should be. Okay. Great. And Yoshka, what are you going to do?
I think I'm gonna go talk to Golb and try to get him to tell me what I need to do that thing he's been doing, detect magic.
Good.
Will you show me how to do that?
He shows him the. Yeah, how would I do that? Would I cast it to let him find it or something? Or would I give him 2 pieces so that he could just cast it and find more himself?
Are you able to cast it right now? I don't think you have.
I don't know the recipe.
You can tell him the recipe.
Yeah, you can tell him
You just be like,
things that you know
got
that
some.
have it, or you could say you just need to have the right
Sure.
components.
Sure. Yeah, I think he shows him. Yeah, he says, I am sorry, friend. I do not have one to give you at the moment, but I will teach you the way of it next time I search this out.
Okay. Well, I'm
Davina-
just gonna look.
Sorry, go ahead, Yoshko.
I'm just gonna go look in the woods for some stuff. Keep an eye out for, I guess, red flower avocado trees.
Okay. Roll me a d20.
Six.
Okay. You don't specifically notice a red. What was it? Red flower avocado. However, you did find a plant that looks interesting. May have some good stuff on it. Maybe not. It is a red bark olive tree. Do you want to grab some components off?
Sure.
let me roll this for you real quickly, just for expedience. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Actually, you can roll it if you want. Just roll me a d8.
Okay.
And Davina, did you go with him for the pointy flower persimmon and want to get some of those?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, I did.
Jared?
I rolled a 2.
Okay. You got 4. You got 4 of the wood from the red bark olive tree, and 3 bits of the red bark. Aaron, I'm going to give you off of the same of Gulb's list, just because
Okay.
he was
Yeah.
doing that. And you got... Sorry, 1 second. I am going to just paste it into your thing to make it easier.
Okay.
Is there some way we could maybe do the rest of the day in a lower granularity?
I would be happy to do that.
I don't know if you guys are interested in that, but I would be interested in that.
Yeah. I was feeling that too, and I think you're right that it would be good to go. So, yeah, let's do this. Here's what we're going to do. For the... Whoops. It is 12 o'clock. Let's see. Okay, why don't we have you do... what time of day do you want to look for... And thanks, Jared. What time of day do y'all want to look for shelter?
Probably now.
At noon? Been walking
Yeah.
for a
Yeah, it
few
seems
hours?
like a good practice. Starting at midday, start look for a place to
Okay,
bunk down.
that sounds fine. Everybody roll me your survival checks. And the best one is going to see which one you found.
Oof. I rolled a 1, and that is going to be a total of 3.
Okay. Who had a high one?
I had a
22.
12.
15.
Somebody had a 20-something?
22?
Okay. Roll me a D100, Jared.
Okay. I guess that's... Oh, here we go.
You could do 2 D10s.
While he's rolling.
Oh, D100 is a number.
66.
Okay. What were you saying, Davina?
I was saying, while he's rolling, it's been a lovely walk in the woods, and it's getting close to physical person bedtime.
Yeah, we're about to wrap up here. It is, you found, and sorry, actually, roll me one more D20, Jared. You found something that requires an additional roll.
$14.
You found a log cabin that seems to have been abandoned a long time ago. It hasn't been used much. It's, all spider webby and stuff, but it is not in a bad state. It's not like ruined. It's just a disused log cabin. It is a great place to stay. I'll just tell y'all, there's only one better thing you could have found. Or the condition could have been better, but it's a reasonable place to stay for the night. If you were to go further and look for more later on, you also would have a good chance of finding good things, but you rolled really well. So,
This is why we look now in the middle of the day. If we found something like that, I say we carpe diem.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Carpe diem, carpe canem. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We'll stop there for the night. Sorry, what's that, Bavari? Right?
Unhand that mutt.
That's right.
You're seizing the dog.
Seize the dog.
Yeah.
This is where we'll end the episode. So what we've done here is this episode we had them walking through in a relatively safe day. It was not much danger happened. They found a road that kept them pretty safe. They found around noon, they found a lot of good components, and around noon they found a log cabin that is in pretty good shape. It probably was made. It's near the road, not like right on the road, but it's near the road. Probably was made for this purpose. We will pick up next episode with this happening. Also, next episode, I will have a streamlined way of us searching for components and getting them in larger quantities without having to do such a, as Jared correctly said, a high granularity rolling, because that I agree, that kind of can drag a little bit. But I will have a good way for us to do that next time and move the action along, but still not, you won't miss the opportunity to get your good stuff from it. Let's do experience real quickly for
Hey,
a couple
Jared.
of creatures.
This is my interpretation of your character laughing.
That's great.
That's an awesome picture.
And
Wow.
it's highly
Wow.
accurate. It really is what Yoshka looks like.
Good drawing.
Yeah, that was good. Let's do experience. We had...
There we go. That's a lot. I actually put the tongue in.
There we go.
I need to shade it. Sorry.
This time, Belvari and Diamondback got experience for doing the 2 encounters that they did. They got
Not very much.
not a whole lot. There it is. Sorry, I got the deer and the pangolin, which was actually tougher than the deer, but whatever. And I'm also going to give y'all, just for moving along and doing, making your way through the jungle some, I'm going to give you a little bit of experience here. Let me roll for it. Let me roll again for it. I was dissatisfied with that.
Too high.
That's right. That's right. Y'all each get, for tonight's encounter, today's episode, y'all each get 20 experience, except for Diamondback and Belvari, who each get 36 experience.
And how much did the rest of us plebes get? I'm sorry.
20.
20. Thank you.
We are plebes.
Hey, so that's the end of the episode. I'm going to, in post, I'll cut the rest of this, but let me pull this out. And just to tell you, oh, there you go.
It took me like a half an hour to get the shading on the upper lip right.
Awesome.